Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Bobby-Ellis, starring as Henry Aldrich in an episode from the last season of the Aldrich-Family. This was originally broadcast January 11th, 1953. Seems Henry is dealing with an English project.
Henry Aldrich!
Coming, Mother!
Yes, it's The Aldrich-Family is transcribed, written by Clifford Goldsmith. Growing pains are one thing to a teenage boy, and quite another thing to his parents. To the boy, growing pains are the misunderstandings that crop up between his world and the adult one. To the parents, growing pains are the same misunderstandings, transformed by time into happy memories. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room. The time is early evening.
But, Father, I wouldn't have to use all the tools. All I need is about 3.
Henry, for the last time, you may not use anything in my tool chest.
Not anything, Father? Does that mean not any tool at all?
It means not any tool at all, whatsoever.
Oh.
Henry, would you mind not standing in my light, please?
Oh, excuse me, Mother. Now can you see to read?
Thank you, dear.
Father, you know that swell new saw you bought a few weeks ago?
You're not to touch that saw.
Well, that's just what I was going to say, Father. Why should I use it? Why should I? When there's an old one of yours I could use just as well.
Henry, the last time you used those tools, where did your father find them?
Under the porch, Mother. I guess everybody knows that by now. But all I need is the old saw, a screwdriver, and a chisel.
Henry, will you please go up to your room and do your homework?
My homework, Father? But haven't I made it clear? That's what I want the tools for.
What subject are you taking that requires a chisel and saw?
English.
English, dear?
Well, sure, Mother. I'm going to make a plant stand.
A what?
A plant stand. Just a small one.
What for?
To stand a plant on. For English.
Henry, what kind of sense does that make?
Well, you see, Father, our English teacher got sore at the class today for something I had nothing to do with. So she said we were all to go home tonight and make something and then write a composition, step by step, on how we did it. See, I got my notebook right here, ready for the first step. The tools.
Sam, don't you think you could let Henry use your saw, as long as it's just for English?
Alice, which do you think is more important, Henry's English or his character?
Well, I don't think one need get in the way of the other.
Just the same, he's not going to touch even one of my tools.
But, Father, my teacher's already upset as it is.
Henry, isn't there anything you can make without your father's tools?
Well, there isn't anything I can think of.
Why can't you paint a picture?
Paint a picture, Mother? What kind of a composition would that make? Although, come to think of it, I might paint one and then build a frame for it. Only there I am, right back at Father's tools again.
Now listen.
I know, Father, I know. But don't you agree that my English is bad enough as it is without handing in a painting, without any frame?
Why can't you make something with that leather craft set your Uncle John sent you back in 1947?
That thing, Father? That thing?
The box is still up in the attic, dear.
Sure, but the tools are all lost. I mean, well, gee whiz, Mother, that set was really just made for a kid.
Henry, will you step out to the kitchen, please, and get me a glass of water?
Oh, sure, Mother, sure. I'll be very glad to.
Sam.
Well?
If I take the responsibility for seeing that your tools are put back right where Henry found them, don't you suppose you could make an exception just this one time?
Alice, when I told him he can't use them, would it be fair to the boy to turn around now and say that he can use them?
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I don't want to confuse him.
Mother, could I have a piece of cake while I'm out here?
I'm sorry, dear, but there's no cake left.
None?
He shouldn't eat between meals anyway.
Here's your glass of water, Mother.
Thank you, dear.
And look, Mother, I just got an idea out in the kitchen. I mean, instead of building a plant stand.
That's splendid.
What is it, Henry?
Why don't I bake a cake?
Bake a cake?
Sure. Don't you remember the jelly roll I made once?
I do.
Father, the cake was all right. What I shouldn't have done was try to roll it.
The only thing is, Henry, bake a cake in my kitchen?
Mother, what could possibly happen to the kitchen? All I'm going to do is knock together an ordinary layer cake with a little icing and some walnut spread on it. And after Miss Wilson has done whatever she wants with it, I can bring the rest back home and let the whole family enjoy it.
Well, the only thing is, dear...
How about it, Alice?
Well...
Sure, Mother, how about it?
Will you promise to change your clothes before you start mixing it?
Sure, I'll put on the dirtiest clothes I have. Boy, will this make a swell composition. Where'd I put my notebook? Mother, are all the gadgets to your electric mixer on the second shelf?
My mixer?
The one Father gave you for Christmas.
Oh, dear, you aren't going to use that, are you?
Gee whiz, why not?
Alice, if I see to it that Henry puts the mixer back together again, don't you suppose you could let him use it just this once?
Now, Sam, don't be absurd. Henry, you don't need the mixer or any part of it.
Well, what am I going to do then?
Well, dear, that's up to you. Don't you have any studying to do for any of your other subjects?
Well, yes, Mother, but I don't need tools for any of my other subjects.
Well, then please go up and attend to them.
And let my English go?
Yes, until you think of something more simple to make.
Well, I sure hope you remember this when you see my next report card.
I've lived a long time, Alice, but this is the first time I've ever heard of an English assignment like that.
Now, dear, that's because you went to school before they had progressive education.
Progressive? What's so progressive about baking a cake for English?
Well, I don't know exactly what it does, but it's supposed to give Henry something he doesn't get at home.
How do they know he wants it?
Dear, I think it's a very good thing, and I think we should encourage Henry just as much as possible.
Mother, I think I got an idea for something.
What is it, dear?
Well, I happened to read once how to make a machine for spraying paint.
Yes?
Sure, and I don't need any tools whatsoever. All I need is the motor and nozzle off your small hand vacuum cleaner.
Henry, you are not going to paint anything with my vacuum cleaner.
Not even to make something that would be useful, besides helping me in English?
Henry, I appreciate your ambition, but you'll have to think of something that won't be destructive.
You mean you have the impression a paint sprayer would be destructive?
In your hands, it could be.
Yes, Father.
Now just sit down, dear, and think again.
Yes, Mother.
Sam, what time do you have?
5 minutes after 8.
Don't you think we ought to be starting?
For the Wentworths before 8:30?
Well, it's entirely up to you, dear. I just thought you'd like to be on the way. Henry, what's that you're writing? Your Latin?
Oh, no, my English.
Your English?
Sure, my composition.
On what?
How I would have made a plant stand. Mother, how do you spell uncooperative?
Uncooperative, dear? How are you using the word?
Well, I'm just covering everything step by step as Miss Wilson told us to. Does Father like to have his middle initial used?
Now, wait a minute.
Father, I'm just saying that you had a very hard day at the office and came home tired. And considering everything, you couldn't be blamed.
Alice.
Henry, if I let you use the electric mixer, will you promise to take very good care of it?
Oh, yes, Mother.
I mean, provided your father still won't let you use his tools.
Alice, I won't be blackmailed into handing over those tools.
Well, that's quite all right, Sam.
Then I can use the mixer?
Yes, dear. I had a very hard day, too, but probably wasn't as difficult as your father's.
All right, I'll write that in, too.
You might speak about how difficult my evening has been, too.
Boy, I'll get to work right away.
Hey, Henry, anybody home?
Hi, Homer.
Excuse me for coming in without ringing, but I didn't want to disturb your father. Hello, Mrs. Aldrich.
Good evening, Homer.
Good evening, Mr. Aldrich.
Good evening.
Henry, do you suppose your father would let me borrow his screwdriver?
His screwdriver?
All I need is his chisel and his saw and a screwdriver.
Well, I'll tell you, Homer.
Homer, don't you have any tools at home?
Yes, sir.
Why can't you use those?
Well, it's like this, Mr. Aldrich. My father, well, he had a hard day at the office.
You don't say.
Homer, why don't you do what Henry's planning to do?
Well, what's he going to build?
A cake.
A what?
A cake.
To eat?
For your English teacher, Homer.
Do you think that's wise, Henry, after she got so sore today?
Well, I can make it interesting, Homer. Gee whiz, a cake would make very good reading.
It would? Well, gee, maybe I'll try one, too.
Sure, why not?
Of course.
Oh, just a second while I phone my folks.
What for?
Tell them I won't be home right away.
You're going to bake your cake here?
Wasn't that what you wanted?
Well...
Father, I don't think Mother would want us to take her new mixer way over to Homer's, would she?
I certainly would not.
Well, then, that settles that.
I'll tell my folks not to worry. I'm over here.
But, Homer, boys, are you sure you understood your English teacher correctly?
Look at it, Henry, look at it. Why won't the darn stuff mix?
You got me, Homer. What do you suppose we're doing wrong?
Well, you got me. Whatever we're doing wrong with this batter isn't what we did wrong with the last batter.
Here, let me stir it. Isn't that strange? The lumps are even bigger this time.
Well, there's just one thing to do, Henry. Let me have it.
What are you going to do with it?
Pour it down the sink and start over.
Again, Homer? Gee whiz, we aren't going to have any flour left.
Oh, sure we will. Look right here in this can. And look at this box, too.
That's pancake flour.
Pancake flour?
Sure.
What would happen if you made a cake with that?
A cake, Homer? It wouldn't work.
Oh, look out, Henry, while I... Henry, why doesn't this stuff run down the drain?
Do you know what I think has happened, Homer?
What?
The last batch is still in there.
Do you have a wrench, Henry?
Sure we have one, only my father locked it up.
Well, gee, didn't he know we were going to make a cake? We can't just let this stuff harden in the pipes. We've got to open them up.
Hey, I know what we can do. Phone Willie Marshall and tell him to bring a wrench over. Hello?
Doesn't he answer, Henry?
Keep quiet, Homer. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Is this Willie?
Sure.
Look, Willie, could you bring a screwdriver over to my house?
What?
A screwdriver.
Now listen, Henry, this makes 3 times you bother me tonight. First, I brought you a wrench. And then I brought you some of my mother's flour. I'm tired running back and forth.
Willie, just once more.
No, Hen.
But we can't get the oven door open, and our cakes are in there. We've got to have a screwdriver.
Listen, you guys, I'm too busy to be bothered with somebody that's trying to be funny.
Willie, wait. Willie? Willie! Well, gee whiz.
Henry, let's try unscrewing the oven door with this kitchen knife.
No, I don't think we better use any more knives, Homer. My mother will need that one to get breakfast with.
Henry, what are we going to do then?
Everything's all right, Homer. As soon as we smell our cake scorching, we'll turn the stove off.
How about trying to phone your folks again?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm calling them right now.
Number, please.
Operator, I want Elm 664.
Elm 664.
Please. Homer, are you writing down all these steps?
Sure, Henry. I've got every one we've taken.
Oh, boy, the line's busy again.
Henry, do you smell anything sort of scorching?
Not yet, Homer.
Let's go out to the kitchen and make sure.
Homer, look at all the flour you tracked in here.
I didn't do that.
You did, too. I don't wear rubber heels, and that's from a rubber heel just as plain as day.
Well, I'll be darned. I'll sweep it up, Hen.
Well, sweep it up and write it down. I'm going to go out to the kitchen.
It's a funny thing, Henry. I sure do smell something. Only it doesn't smell like cake.
Then there's nothing to worry about, Homer.
Yeah, but I wonder what it could be.
Probably your icing. I told you all the time you shouldn't put your icing on first.
All right, Henry, all right. You do it your way and I'll do it mine, and we'll see who gets a better mark.
Homer, isn't there some way of opening this oven?
I thought you said we didn't have to worry.
Homer, put your nose down here real close.
Didn't I tell you I smell something? Where are you going?
To try and get my folks again.
Tell them exactly the way the handles turn.
Number, please.
Elm 664.
Elm 664.
Please, and would you sort of hurry? Homer, you know that smell we don't think is cake?
Yeah?
Well, write it down. Miss Wilson will probably be interested in it.
Yeah, I've got it down. Smell very strange. Not cake. What is it?
Hello?
Hello, is this Mrs. Wentworth?
Yes.
Well, this is Henry Aldrich. Could I please speak to my mother right away?
She's playing bridge just now, Henry.
But, Mrs. Wentworth, we've had a very embarrassing accident here.
What's happened?
Homer Brown broke the handle on the oven.
He what?
He broke the handle.
Well, my goodness. I'll tell your mother to come right to the phone.
Hey, Henry! Henry, drop the receiver and come here, quick!
Hello? Hello?
Number, please.
Operator, this is Mrs. Aldrich. My son wanted to speak to me a moment ago, and apparently he's been cut off.
I'll try calling your house, Mrs. Aldrich.
Thank you.
Alice, have you got him?
Not yet, Sam. Where's Mrs. Wentworth?
What is it, dear?
Oh, Kitty, are you sure that's what Henry said?
At first, he wouldn't tell me anything except that they had had a very serious accident. But finally, I wormed it out of him.
Did he say which hand Homer broke?
No, Sam. He just said he broke it.
What I want to know is how anyone could break his hand baking a cake.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Aldrich. The line is still busy. They must have left the receiver off the hook.
Well, my gracious, do you suppose Homer's worse?
I couldn't say, Mrs. Aldrich.
Alice, what did she say?
Oh, they don't answer. Kitty, Sam and I are going right home. You call the doctor and then phone Homer's family.
Does it still hurt, Henry?
Not since you put the baking soda on it.
Well, hold your hand out while I bandage it.
Gee whiz, Homer, you don't have to wrap it up in a towel. All it is a little burn.
Hold your hand out.
Here. Boy, am I glad it's my left hand and not the one I write with.
Hold still now.
You know what I'll be interested in seeing, Homer?
What?
The oven when we get it open.
I don't see why you don't phone your mother again and ask her how to open it.
Homer, we've turned the oven off, haven't we? You can come over and get your cupcakes in the morning.
But, Henry, I'd like to finish writing them up tonight.
Listen, Homer, I'm not going to call my mother again. We're going to get the deuce as it is for ruining her oven door.
Why should we? We didn't do anything but close it. And look at the kitchen. We've cleaned it up so you'd hardly know we've been in here. We even got that batter off the ceiling.
Henry!
Who's that?
Henry, where's Homer?
Who, me? I'm right here, Mr. Aldrich.
Sam, where is he?
Is that Mother?
Henry, your hand.
Henry! Henry, it's you!
Sure.
Oh, Sam, look at him. He's as white as a sheet.
Who, me?
That's just baking soda, Mrs. Aldrich.
Did you call the hospital, Homer?
The hospital? We always use soda for a thing like that at our house.
Are you mad at me, Mother?
What for, dear? For breaking it?
Sure, because if you are, Homer really broke it, but we'll both replace it.
What's that? Alice, where are you? Who's that?
Will Brown, where's my boy?
I'm right here, Father. Is it time to go home?
Homer, let me see your hand.
Will, it isn't Homer. It's Henry.
What do you mean it's Henry?
Have I done something?
Mr. Aldrich!
Who's that?
Dr. Bennington. Well, now, don't you worry, my boy. We'll have your hand set before you know it.
Well, gee whiz, you're going to set it for a burn?
You burned it?
Oh, Sam, get me a chair and a glass of water.
Gee whiz, no, Father. Don't let any water run in that sink.
Why not?
Well, it's like this. Father, the only thing to worry about is our cakes. We got to get them out of the oven or flunk our English.
What am I supposed to do?
Dr. Bennington, do you happen to have a screwdriver in your satchel?
We'll return to the Aldrich family in just a moment.
January 11th, 1953, The Aldrich Family on Classic Radio Theater.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a healthcare plan that isn't affordable or you simply don't like it, right now is a great time to switch to MediShare. The typical family saves $500 or more per month with MediShare, and what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate when compared to health insurance. Double. You get access to a massive network of providers and 24/7 telehealth. And MediShare is the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. It's been around for more than 25 years, and it's more than just affordable healthcare, too. You get to be part of a community of Christians who pray for each other and support each other. But here's why now is the time to make the switch. Join before January 15th, and they'll waive your new member fee. So you'll save another $170 right off the bat. Call now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is January 15th, so you can save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station, January 11th, 1953, The Aldrich Family.
And now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Well, Henry and Homer are trying to bake cakes as a project for their English class. And so far, their mishaps have included breaking the oven handle, pouring batter down the drain, and upsetting seriously their parents. Well, consequently, their composition promises to be adventuresome reading. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room. The time is later the same evening.
Sam, I'm going up to bed.
I think I'll do the same. I'm tired. Just a minute, and I'll close the windows.
Do you think that smell is entirely out of here, dear?
Well, whether it is or not, we're not going to freeze to death.
How they ever happened to leave that pot holder in the oven along with their cakes, I'll never understand.
A pot holder? I thought they left this notebook in there.
They left both.
By the way, where is Henry?
Out in the kitchen icing his cake.
What with, soda?
Now, dear, it really came out quite well. As he says, it was fortunately a dark chocolate anyhow.
Where's Homer?
He took his cupcakes home.
Is he going to bury them in his backyard?
Dear, they have to take their cakes to school tomorrow.
Mother!
Yes, Henry?
You said I could put my cake in one of these big marshmallow tins, didn't you?
Yes, dear, just like the tin I gave Homer to put his cupcakes in.
And I'm to take the lid off and put the cake on the lid?
Yes, and then put the bottom of the tin right over the cake.
Sure, that's what I've done. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't made any more mistakes.
You have it in that tin?
Sure. You want to see it?
Yes, let's take a look at it.
Yes, sir. I even...
Be careful when you open it.
I'll be careful.
If you don't put it down on something, Henry, you'll drop it.
Mother, could you just hold the bottom while I pull on the top?
Sam, you'll have to help him.
All he has to do is give the tin a good whack.
A good whack, Father? Just after the cake's been iced?
Is it a soft icing?
Father, you just hold the bottom of the can while I pull up.
All right. Well, try twisting.
Twisting?
Sam, you're both going to have the whole thing on the floor before you're through.
Father, how about getting your screwdriver?
Now, we aren't going to go all through that again.
I say leave it closed until Henry gets to school tomorrow.
Yeah, Alice, he can't very well just hand it to his teacher like this and ask her to take his word that there's a cake in there, can he? Where's the can opener?
The can opener? But, Father...
From January 11th, 1953, Bobby Ellis as Henry Aldrich in the Aldrich Family. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for joining us here for Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite radio station. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll head to Wistful Vista and see what's going on in the McGee household.
Our U.S. Constitution is amazing. It's full of what's called negative rights, designed to protect us from the corrupt powers of a dictatorship.
Like our right to worship our own God, not some official state religion.
Our right to prevent the government from seizing our property without paying fair market value for it.
Or our right to be tried by a jury of our peers, people like us, not by some star tribunal.
And that's why America has become the richest, most just society in the world.
Other countries force so-called positive rights onto their citizens. These enable one group to take from another group their free speech, money, and choice by using government force. Socialists love wielding this power over people.
Sometimes we take our freedoms for granted, but we can lose our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and become like Venezuela or North Korea, failed, brutal socialist regimes.
We need your help to spread the good news about our amazing U.S. Constitution. Help us take back America. Go to ouramericanrights.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
And we thank you for making us a part of your day here on Classic Radio Theater. Now the conclusion of the Aldrich Family, the English Project, January 11th, 1953.
Henry, where's your mother?
Up getting the iodine.
What's she getting that for? This is nothing but a scratch. Will you please hold that tin once more?
Yes, Father. Boy, have you wrecked that can opener.
It's working, though, isn't it?
Can you see the cake yet?
In a moment, we'll be able to. There.
Well, gee whiz. Mother!
What is it now?
Not a bad-looking cake, Henry.
Sam Aldrich, what have you done to that tin? You've ruined it.
Now, why not, Alice? There's another marshmallow tin out in the kitchen. We'll use that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam, but I used the other tin for cracker crumbs.
Well, why can't Henry just carry the cake in his arms?
Just carry it, Father? But I don't have English until 7th period. I just can't go through the whole day holding a cake on my lap, can I?
You should have thought of that part before.
Henry, I haven't another thing you can put that cake in. Sam, how about that cardboard hat box you carried down to the basement?
Mary used that for something.
Father, could you deliver it to me in English class at 20 after 2 tomorrow?
I'm sorry, but I could not.
Sam, where are you going?
I'm going down to the basement and build Henry a box.
At this time of night?
Now, Alice, it won't take long. All I have to do is to put 4 boards and a top together.
No bottom?
Of course there'll be a bottom. Now all I have to do is to find the keys to the tool chest.
Where did you put them?
That's what I don't remember. I hid them so Henry wouldn't find them.
Sam Aldrich!
What is it?
Do you realize it's 20 minutes to 1?
I'm practically through, Alice.
Well, is Henry down there helping you? He isn't in bed.
He's down here with me, taking notes.
telephone.
I thought you promised to make some muffins for breakfast.
Oh, I was going to, dear, only there wasn't any flour.
Hello?
Hello, is this Will Brown?
Yes.
Oh, Will, this is Alice Aldrich. Has Homer left for school yet?
Yes, he left about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, dear. Well, I just hate to tell you this, but I'm afraid there's been a terrible mistake.
What's the trouble now?
When Homer left here last night, he took his cupcakes in one of my marshmallow tins, didn't he?
Yes, I think he did.
Well, I'm afraid he picked the wrong tin.
He took Henry's tin?
No, he took the tin with my cracker crumbs in.
Your cracker crumb?
Yes.
And he's taking them to school?
Yes.
Well, all I can say is Homer never was very good in English anyhow.
Homer, how do your cupcakes look by now?
I don't know. I wasn't able to get the tin open this morning.
Well, you're going to have a little trouble that way.
It'll probably loosen up by the 7th period. Henry, why don't you put your cake where I put mine?
Where?
In my locker.
No, Homer, the only way I could get this box my father made into a locker would be to tip it over on its side.
You mean you've been carrying that darn thing all day?
Sure.
Well, you better not get caught here in the gymnasium with it. Don't you see that sign up there? Do not eat lunches here.
This is no lunch, Homer. It's an assignment.
Well, you certainly look ridiculous with it.
Hey, Henry.
What, Willie?
Watch me. I'm going to do the double flip on the parallel bars.
Well, what's so wonderful about that?
Watch. Oh, boy.
Henry, look out.
Well, gee whiz, where did it go?
What?
My cake. Now, look, Willie, you kicked my cake all the way across the gym.
Thank you, Agnes. You managed to make that handkerchief box very interesting. Don't you think this was a good idea, class?
Yes.
Don't you feel that once you've finished making something, you've really done something worthwhile?
Yes.
Sometimes I'm afraid we go through life not realizing how much we can accomplish until we put our minds to it. Now, let me see. The next composition...
Miss Wilson.
Yes, Homer?
May I say just a word?
Why don't I read yours first, and then you may explain anything you want to.
I just wanted to say that you've got my tin sitting on the radiator, and I don't think it should get overheated.
Oh, well, thank you for mentioning it, Homer. I'll put it here on the desk. Now, let's see what your composition says. How I Made Cupcakes. Homer, your cupcakes are in this tin?
Yes, Miss Wilson.
Well, just how do you take the top off?
Oh, well, maybe I better help you, Miss Wilson. Then you won't jostle them.
Very well.
I'm afraid a few of them might be broken already.
Miss Wilson?
Yes, Henry?
Well, we had the same trouble at our house, and I'll tell you what we did.
I'm getting it. It's practically...
Oh, boy.
Well,
Miss Wilson, my cakes must have dried out.
Homer, I don't think filling that box with cracker crumbs was one bit funny.
But I didn't put them in there.
Will you please take your seat? And after class, you will stay and clean up the floor.
Yes, Miss Wilson. Gee whiz.
And we'll give you exactly 0 for this project. The class will please come to order. The next composition will be that of Henry Aldrich. And here is his box. Well, it looks very interesting, Henry.
Thank you, Miss Wilson.
Only there isn't anything in this box.
But you haven't read the composition.
Oh, well, let's see what your paper says. How I Made a... Henry, did you erase something here?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, How I Made a Plant Stand. A plant stand?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a plant stand.
Yes, ma'am. You just turn it up on one end and put a plant on the top. And you see the opening inside?
Yes.
That's for magazines.
Well, that's very ingenious. Only, don't you think it would be even better if you put some shelves in there?
Well, if you'd like shelves, I'll have my I'd be glad to put some in.
Well, let's read how you made it. How I Made a Plant Stand by Henry W. Aldrich. First, take 6 eggs and crack in large bowls.
No!
Add milk and flour.
Gee whiz, no!
Well, Henry, how did you get along in school today?
Oh, swell, Father. I got 90 on the box you built and 95 on the cake.
Both in English, dear?
Oh, no, Mother. I only submitted the box in English. Later, I analyzed the cake in chemistry.
The Aldrich Family is transcribed as written by Clifford Goldsmith. Henry is played by Bobby Ellis and Homer by Jack Grimes. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jameson and Barbara Robbins. Your announcers, Dick Dudley. Listen again next week, same time, same station, for another sparkling half hour with the Aldrich Family.
Good night, everybody.
January 11th, 1953, The Aldrich Family on Classic Radio Theater. Well, you've heard me talk about Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, and how his pillow's given me a great night's sleep. He continues to roll out new offers on his products. His latest on the towel sets. Now, towels aren't something you think about. I never knew what I was missing till I tried the towels last year. You've all helped build Mike Pillow into the incredible company it is today, and trust in Mike Lindell has given you a better night's sleep. Mike's now changing the game with his 6-piece towel set, USA cotton, extremely absorbent, yet still providing that soft feel you look for in a towel. 2 bath, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths for a limited time, $39.95 using our promo code USA. It retails for over $100. Remember, all MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio Listener Square, use this promo code USA to get this price of $39.99 on the towels, or call 1-800-951-8175. Now on Classic Radio Theater, let's head to 79 Wistful Vista, see what's going on in the McGee household. That, of course, is Fibber McGee and Molly.
The big Super Rummage sale conducted each year by the Junior League of Wistful Vista is underway this week at the Muni Auditorium. And the place is simply loaded with the fanciest rummage in town. Among the shoppers browsing through the stock are Mrs. McGee and her friend, Mrs. Mortimer Toops.
Honestly, Mabel, I've never seen so much stuff in my life. Looks like somebody opened 1,000 hall closets.
It does at that. They got some wonderful junk down here, though, Moll, no kidding. A lot of this stuff comes from rich homes, you know. Society crowd.
Well, they certainly throw away some lovely things. Just look at the clothes and the furniture, pictures, glassware, everything.
Sure, you can find practically anything here, from a rocking chair Whistler's mother didn't like to a ballpoint pen some banker disapproved of.
Mabel, I believe it. And the prices on some of this stuff, they practically give it away.
Oh, you're not kidding. I was down here last year. I picked up a mink-trimmed house coat. Just fur around the cuffs, you know, but real mink.
Yes?
$3.50. Should have seen it.
You're kidding. Was it in good shape?
Well, it had a couple of little cigarette burns, a few gin spots on it, but it cleaned up fine. I wish you could have been with me when I got home.
Oh, what did Mort say?
Well, I didn't tell him I had it, but after dinner I went upstairs and put it on, and I dabbed a lot of perfume around the collar and on the fur and everything. And I went downstairs just like Clara Bow, you know, real slinky.
Oh, I wish I'd have been there.
Mort was sitting by the radio listening to the fights, kind of hypnotized like he gets after a big meal. And I slithered up behind him and I said, "Where's your wife, baby? Are you lonesome?"
No, what'd he say?
You'd have died, Ma. He caught a whiff of that perfume and he got a flash of the mink out of the corner of his eye. I'm telling you, Mort jumped 4 feet high. Knocked over the coffee table, spilled his root beer into the radio, blew out the set. The fight went off just as the referee was saying, "He's down, he's down." Oh, it was murder.
Oh, dear. I'll bet he pouted for a week when McGee has the fights on. Say, look at these coffee tables, Mabel.
Oh, some of these are real nice. Look, here's a French provincial.
Oh, here's something I've been looking for. Look, Mabel, come here. The big one. I've been wanting a big coffee table for our living room for years.
Oh, gee, that is a beauty, Ma. I wouldn't mind having that.
Look at the price on this, will you? $6. Looks like it was a dining table originally.
Sure, it's been cut down. Looks good and solid.
And big. I'm so sick of that dinky little table in front of our divan, and this is just what I want. Oh, lady, madam, Could you sell me this coffee table and get someone to help us out to the car?
Holy smoke. A coffee table, huh? Boy, it sure is a big one.
Yeah, it took Mabel Toops and me 10 minutes to get it in the house. Isn't it a dandy? I've been wanting a big, low coffee table for this room for years, and I finally found it. Well, how do you like it?
Boy, it is a big one. Looks like somebody took a dining room table and drove it in the floor.
Well, actually, it is a little bigger in this room than it was in the Muni Auditorium.
Sure.
But I'm so sick of that dinky little table we've been using here. I think we're going to love this table, McGee. As soon as we live with it a while, we'll love it.
Yeah. We sure will. Let me move this easy chair back a little so I can get out of the corner here and... There. Oh, you know, that table don't look quite so big if you back off a little and... Whoops! Backed off 3 feet and bumped the dad-ratted piano.
Well, we might have to change the furniture around a little in here.
Yeah, probably will.
But it'll work out. Oh, I'm just delighted to have a nice big coffee table. Slide it back now, will you, so I can get up off the divan here? And I'll try to plan the best way for the furniture.
Should have had some help to move this piano. It's a heavy... No, don't you help, Molly. That's too heavy.
Whew. Leave it right there now. Let me see how the room will look this way.
I'll put the easy chair back. Ow! Oh, my shin again.
Oh, you poor thing. That's the 4th time.
That ratted coffee table anyhow.
Shouldn't have started moving furniture around after dinner anyhow. I guess...
Shin hurts.
McGee, it's just a wonderful table. Look how sturdy and solid it is.
Anybody that thinks it ain't solid can look at my shins. Every time I turn around, I bang them a junior out of...
Wonder who... What time is it?
It's after 10 o'clock. Maybe it's Doc Gamble. Come in.
Hello there, kids. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Johnny. Just passing through.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi. Come in if you can get in.
Oh, changing the furniture around, huh? Hey, what's the dining room table doing here in the living room, daughter?
Oh, that isn't our dining
room. Saw the legs off, too, didn't you? Why'd you cut the legs off? You gonna start eating your dinner on your knees now? Can't sit down that long.
No, this is not our dining room table, Mr. Oldtimer. It's a coffee table.
Oh, gonna drink coffee on your knees, huh?
Oh.
This is not a table to drink coffee off of. It's just a table to put things on. You know, a cocktail table.
Oh, I never touched the stuff myself, kids. Cocktails, eh?
Doggone it, we're not going to use it. Oh, look, as long as you're here, you can help me. We got to take the piano out to the kitchen, see, and put the gas stove in here and take that heavy divan upstairs. So if you'll bend over here, I'll put the piano on your back.
Just remember, Johnny, I ain't fed my dog yet. Dog's hungry. Love to help you, but I ain't fed my dog.
I got rid of him. Now, look, kiddo, why don't we get rid of this shin-busting, space-hogging coffee table? I'll drag it out to the garage.
Oh, no, McGee. It'll fit in here. I can work it out.
Gee whiz, Molly, my shins are black and blue. Every time I move, I bang into it.
Oh, now you're exaggerating. Please, dearie, all my life I've wanted a big coffee table. Let's give it a chance. Look, let's go to bed now. We're both tired.
Yeah, you go on up to bed, kiddo. I'll be up in a minute. I want to get a bite to eat and lock the back door, and you go on up.
Okay, I'll lay out your pajamas.
Yeah, that's okay. You go on. Something's got to be done about this dad-ratted table. I bet if her shins hurt as bad as mine do, she wouldn't be so anxious to... Wait a minute, McGee. You just said something there. If her shins hurt as bad as mine... It's kind of a dirty trick, but... Dial O for Myrtle. Something drastic's got to be done before I break every leg I got on this. Hello, operator. Give me Stuffy Logan's all-night hamburger joint at the corner of... Molly. Molly. She's sleeping like a baby. If I'd known she was going to go to sleep so quick, I'd have made this earlier. I've been laying here an hour and haven't closed my eyes. Hope Stuffy Logan didn't forget because... There it goes. I better be asleep. Good and loud.
McGee? McGee, is that the phone? McGee, the phone's ringing. Somebody's calling. McGee? Oh, I better get it. Couldn't wake him up with a cannon. Who in the world could be phoning us at this hour of the night? Must be after midnight. I hope it isn't somebody sick. Oh, darn hall light is out again. Keep ringing, I'm coming. We ought to have an extension upstairs so I wouldn't have to... Oh! Oh, my shin! Oh, I forgot all about that darn coffee table. Oh!
Hey, what's the matter, kiddo? Hey, you bang your shin on the coffee table? Hurts, don't it? I know just how you feel. It hurts. Oh, you poor kid.
That phone was ringing and I started to cross the room and... Oh, this darn thing anyhow.
Now. I know just how you feel, you poor kid. I got black and blue marks all over mine.
Turn on that floor lamp, will you? Watch your shins.
Yeah.
Help me drag this darn table out on the front porch out of the way.
Sure, I will.
Before somebody breaks their leg on the darn thing.
Sure.
It's just too darn big for this house, and I never should have bought it. First thing tomorrow, I'll call Mabel Toops. And if she wants that table, she can have it.
Yeah, you poor kid. How's your shin?
It's better. How's yours?
Better. What you doing?
Checking this hall light. The bulb was loose.
Oh?
That's why it wouldn't turn on when I came downstairs.
Well, imagine that. Wonder how that bulb could get loose. You know?
No, maybe slamming the door does it. I don't know. Let's go to bed.
Yeah, let's. So long, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Fibber McGee and Molly, transcribed, is brought to you Mondays through Fridays at this time by Miles Laboratories, makers of Alka-Seltzer. The Old-Timer is played by Bill Thompson and Mabel Toops by Mary Jane Croft. This is John Wald inviting you to follow the adventures of that coffee table again tomorrow on Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, Lordy, another episode of Fibber McGee and Molly. This one going back to January 11th, 1956 here on Classic Radio Theater. We thank you for making us a part of your day. Many of our shows are available through our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com. That's RadioMemories.com. He provides old-time radio programs on CD, on cassette tape, or on flash drive. So contact Ted, tell him I sent you by, would you please? RadioMemories.com. I also would like to ask you to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It's the kindness of this radio station to keep us on the air here each and every time we're around. And also the advertisers pay the bills to keep this radio station on the air. They are very, very important. So thank them both and do business with the advertisers, won't you please? If you would like to visit my webpage, you can learn more about classic radio collecting by going to classicradio.stream. We've got a number of resources there for you. You can also hear our shows on demand. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. We've got our links to shows there. We've also got our social media links, and you can contact me there as well. classicradio.stream. And if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. You can find our show on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have a great day and tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.